And you have two cats, right?
I have three, so.
You have Draco. You have
Yeah.
there's one with a B, right? What's his name?
Barnabas.
Barnabas. That's right. And then you have one other one.
Yeah, his name is Grim.
If you guys know Cherry from chat is also friends. Cherry Noble is friends with her as well. So how did you meet Cherry?
Actually, I'm pretty sure that he found my YouTube channel when I was still doing YouTube. That he was from there. And then I started streaming after that because I did YouTube with a friend and she and I did like gameplay reviews
Yes.
or whatever. We did that for a while, but then she got promoted and got busy.
Totally.
And had zero time to do YouTube anymore. And so I was like, what's this Twitch thing? And that was a long time ago. I think I probably streamed the first time 5 years ago, but I am not a consistent streamer. Right. I keep trying. I always say that I have seasons, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like a season of a TV show.
Totally.
I'll come around and I'll be there for 4 months and then you won't see me again until next year.
But you know what though? I feel like at the end of the day you're a very creative person and I feel like regardless of what platform you like finally like kind of settle into.
I feel like it's more that I just can't decide on one thing. And I don't even know if that's a good thing.
And like I know you used to have a show where you used to do like vintage fucking cooking.
Oh yeah, and I want to bring that back because that was a lot of fun.
I love that idea and I want to connect. Do you know Night Sinclair?
Yeah, I've heard of her. Yeah, I've never seen her stream, but
because I feel like you guys would vibe really well, and she's very like similar to you, like she's making all that kind of stuff. So I feel like you guys would vibe together. Yeah, no, and she does like cooking streams too and stuff. I think she did like a cook your own, pick your own adventure with cooks or something.
Oh, that sounds fun. Cooking was great, yeah, but it got kind of expensive because ridiculous recipe from a vintage cookbook, and I'd go out and I'd buy things specifically for that recipe, and then they were nasty things. I would never eat them again. So I was spending, you know, like $30-$40 every stream to buy all this stuff. And so it just got to be a lot and I stopped doing it. And I really want to bring it back because it was fun. And I don't think there's anyone else that was doing here. If you're a creative designer, you probably work in advertising because that's where the money is.
Sure.
So I mean, it's cool, and it was cool at first because I was like, I'm making ads for Maybelline. I'm so awesome. So yeah, I mean, I used to work in advertising. That's what I went to school for, and I quit doing that so I could do photography, which was my dream at the time.
Yeah, like your passion, totally.
Right. So I did that for about 6 years, and I burned myself out, and I haven't done it since.
Really?
And then.
That's interesting that you said you would burn out. Like, tell me about that. Because
photography is great, but running a business is hard.
Yeah.
And so, like, I wasn't shooting photography for like another person. I wasn't employed.
Yeah.
I had a business and I ran a business, and I was not good at running a business.
Yeah.
And I didn't really.
I wouldn't be either.
I thought I could do, you know, be harsh to customers, but I got to where I was very cold, which I don't know if that's a good thing. But I kind of like would shut off and be like, no, stop treating me like garbage. It's my business. Get out.
All that.
Oh, Dragon Con's the best.
Have you? So did you grow up in Georgia?
No, I didn't. I moved here for college. I went to college here and to the Art Institute, which was a waste of money. Well, here's the thing. Like a lot of jobs will insist on having a bachelor's degree. And so people will be like, oh, well, the job says I have to have a bachelor's degree, so I better have one. But if your portfolio is good, they're not going to care.
Totally.
You need to just like make sure your portfolio is great. If going to school makes you feel good, if you have the resources to do it, do it. But if you can't afford it, just work on your art and just make the best portfolio you can. And plenty of people will hire you without it. So I don't think that it's necessary in the art scene to have a degree. Think about it, all the jobs I got after school were not from networking at school.
Really? Yeah.
No, I was like out of a job and I was like, oh, I'll just see if I could get some temp work. And that's how I landed the job with the company that now does all the Arby stuff. Is, you know, I worked a temp job and they were like, we love you, stay forever. And I was like,
so
okay.
Wait, so you started the viral Arby's thing, or was that your friend?
Well, she's the one that started it, right? But
can you explain
company.
To people that like don't know anything, kind of like the TLDR on that?
Well, if anybody follows social media, they've probably seen the Arby social media, which does all of the papercraft and nerdy stuff.
So cool.
And the company that I used to work for, that she currently works for, got the job, and she is a giant nerd just like me and just like all of us. And somehow she managed to pitch to them that, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we targeted nerds? And that's essentially what they did. And they have been so successful that they've been doing it for years and years and years now. And now they're branching out to other brands that also want to do the same thing. I think so far, none of them have actually taken that offer,
Yeah.
but they're always pitching it to other people to be like, hey, you've seen what we've done for Arby's. We'll do it for other people. Worked with them. I'm a freelancer now, so I worked with them for a few months earlier this year and got to see how hectic it is. And it's crazy. Like, they are constantly busy, constantly doing stuff. It's insanity. Maybelline was a long time ago. Back then, I also did Verizon. When I worked for Verizon, it was a long, long time ago. That was like 2010 or something.
Oh, wow.
Forever ago.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Totally. But this is so, you've had such a cool fucking life. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm old. I've done a lot of things.
Bitch, please. I feel like you're like my age.
I don't know. People always think that, and then they're shocked when they find out how old I am. So.
Looking for like art, like what is that like? Do you get like a lot of like they have like what, like roast beef?
They've got, well, their actually thing now is that they want to do they want to like branch out from roast beef and do all kinds of other sandwiches and stuff.
You know what, Cherry told me that you had been to North Korea and then they auto corrected it to South Korea. And
yeah,
I literally was like, oh my god, I was like looking up all the stuff on North Korea. I was like, oh my god, she went to North Korea, holy shit.
I wanted to go to North Korea. Well, I wanted to go to the
I'm
border.
glad
I wanted to go to the border when I was in South Korea because I was there for a summer. So I was there for a long time. Had plenty of time to go. I just never got a chance.
What was it like being like what was that like? You said you were there for a summer?
Yeah, I went there to take language classes, and don't ask me to speak Korean because I forgot it
I was about
all.
to say, bitch, I was about to ask.
But like the language classes go like so fast that I couldn't keep up. I literally couldn't keep up. And I was just like, I need to take this class like 4 times before I can actually remember anything. So I went, and I'm gonna go again next year and take that same class again.
I wanna go. I wanna go. That sounds so fucking cool. So
the only thing that I think was memorable worth talking about was I snuck him into like the fancy like invite only
yes, he told
cosplayer
me
party
with the Pop-Tarts. Okay, I want to get into all this. A lot of people don't know. I should have mentioned that you've done. Is it photography or just editing for Jessica Negri?
Well, I did the photography and editing.
So fucking cool. I have so many. I've heard she's really nice.
She is super nice.
I've only heard literally, like I'm not just saying this, like genuinely only good things about her. And then you also worked with Yaya Han, I believe?
Yep, Yaya lives like a block away from me, so I've known her since like 1998. Well, that's kind of how it all started because Yaya was cosplaying, I don't know, back in the late 90s, and so was I. And back then there was nobody else. Like, it was like there were 10 of us, pretty much.
So you were like a fucking original cosplayer.
Yes.
Bitch.
OG.
How have you felt like the culture of it has changed over the past couple of years?
Absolutely. Definitely.
Really?
It's so much I don't even know how to explain because back then before like I mean we had the internet obviously, but we were like using like LiveJournal and stuff.
Yeah.
But nobody had like barely anyone had their own websites. Like I think Yaya did and like another super famous but also now controversial cosplayer named Elisa had a website. But that was a long time ago. But most people didn't. And so you only saw new cosplays when you went to cons.
Wow.
And so people would like debut them there.
Yeah, and that has to create such like an intimate, like kind of like culture in a way.
Yes, it was definitely different. And people used to go all out. I mean, they still do, but like not as many people did really huge amazing builds like they do now. Like now everybody does it. The hardest one that I did was I did a character from League of Legends named Syndra, and she had her face covered so I couldn't see anywhere that I was going, and so that one was difficult to wear out in the middle of a con because I had to be like led by the hand. Yeah, I've been banned twice, but only one of them was
We love a rebel.
Deserved.
So can you explain what happened?
Well, so back when I was still doing photography a lot, I thought that it might be interesting for people to see my retouching process because I don't know, I just thought it might be interesting.
Yeah.
And so Jessica Negri was actually like, it was her idea for me to do it, is she had just done a photo shoot with me, and I needed to edit her photos, and I was talking about how I was kind of new to Twitch, I think, at the time. And she's like, you should edit them online and, you know, teach people how to do what you do, and that would be really cool. So I did it, and she shared it out, which of course meant I got flooded with tons of people.
Really?
That came to watch.
Like how
and
many?
I don't remember at the time.
Just like
hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hundreds, and you know, that's more than I ever get.
You're like the Annie Leibovitz of fucking cosplay.
Not anymore, I'm not. No, because I just don't, like, at the time, I wasn't even really a cosplay, you know, a pinup photographer. And so when she came to me, it wasn't for cosplay photography. She wanted to do a lingerie shoot, and she had never done a professional one before. Yeah. And so I was the first professional person to shoot her in lingerie.
And you did what you did prior. What was a day in your life like compared to now?
Oh my God, it was terrible, because I would spend like an hour and a half in traffic.
Yeah.
And I would drive to an office. And the shitty thing is they always want you in the office, like, it's never 9 to 5. It's like 9 to 7.
Right. And, oh, really?
Yeah. And the problem is like, I'm not working that entire time. It's a lot of waiting around. It's like, I'll design something, I'll send it off, and then I'll wait. And I'll wait all day sometimes. And then they'll get back to me like an hour before it's time to leave and be like, hey, we've got a whole list of stuff for you to do. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm working late now. Yeah. And that's pretty much what the typical day is. And then you drive home, and then that's your whole day. First, you got to find a character you want to. But you got to start small, because I remember when I started, I don't even remember what it is, so don't ask me. But I remember the first character I wanted to do something super ambitious, and it was 100% garbage. And it never saw the light of day. So you just kind of got to like pick a character that you like and try to do some tutorials on what you think you might want to do. Because it really, to me, cosplay is all about like getting excited about a character. Right now I have a Canon 5D Mark IV. That's the kind I use, but it's really not the body, it's the lens. Something I love, and I always tell people to get it. And it's a 85 millimeter 1.0, and it's expensive, but it is so good. And the body means nothing. The lens is everything.
Would you say that like get a more basic camera and invest in a better lens if you're on a budget?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Smaller camera or whatever. It's just these days everyone goes with like the mirrorless cameras, but I don't think you need that.
Tell me about the Pop-Tarts on trays. Also, really quick, Paul Stanley wants to know what video editing software or what photo editing software do you use?
I use Lightroom to sort and do basic editing, and then I use Photoshop to do all the like skin retouching. So you gotta go to a con, and you have to take pictures there. Lugging your lights around is gonna be a pain in the ass. Don't do it yet. Start by taking pictures of people at cons in natural lighting, so go outside. And natural lighting is different than studio lighting for sure, but this is how you're gonna get started, because you have to take pictures of people, give them your business card, get their contact information, because you want to send them the pictures that you took so that they will post them. And then once that happens and you get to know these people, if you're really nice to them, if you send them their pictures quickly, if they look good, if you're really friendly, then people are going to want to work with you again. And that's when you tell them, hey, you know, now I've ventured into doing solo shoots. And then you can start booking people for like, hey, would you like to take a picture with me for 30 minutes? Don't charge money yet, just practice. For all of my beauty photography, I use a beauty dish, which I guess you're gonna have to Google that.
A beauty dish, ooh, bitch.
A beauty dish. It's kind of like reflects the light and it makes it look soft, but it's like kind of like a big spotlight. And then I use one light to the side of a person to give them like a halo almost on their hair and stuff.
Is there like a DIY way maybe? Like, or what are the words again too, so maybe people can Google like DIY versions of it?
If you were gonna DIY it, I mean,
I would love if you did like a YouTube video or something on it, like low key. I feel like, or like, because I know you do like your Twitch channel. Like, Funky asks a great question. They go, when do you feel comfortable charging for photo shoots?
When most of my shoots I did were in a studio, and so I just charged by the hour, and they came to me. If they made me travel, then I would charge more because I don't want to leave my studio.
Do you make them pay for your gas and stuff?
I mean, I wouldn't like calculate gas. I would flat fee. So, I mean, my rate was $100 an hour. I mean, maybe, but like for cosplay, I thought, but like I said, I never.
Oh no, it cut out.
Studio.
Say that again. Sorry, it cut out.
A lot of cosplayers will think that that's a lot of money, but you know, I never really shot more than an hour. So I was always like, we're going to get everything done in this hour. So this is what you're going to pay. And I'm going to give you, you know, like 200 photos. So I felt like it was a good deal, I guess.
Yeah.
But if they made me travel, I would double it because I didn't want to travel. But as far as what other people should charge, it's really difficult because I feel like it's a personal thing because you have to decide what your time is worth. And you also have to take into account the time you're going to edit it later. Because I also would charge per edit as well. So, because that would take me hours. I get mad about pricing questions too, because everyone's just like, you have to decide for yourself. So really you just need to look at what other people are charging. You're like, I'm as good as this guy and he's charging that. That's what I'm going to charge. And if no one pays you, then just lower your prices. But always have a higher price and then do a discount. The favorite cosplay I've done, it's actually not an exciting one, but it's my favorite one, and it's Carmen Sandiego.
I had so much fun with her. That was awesome.